And oh gosh, thank you for the heart. Y'all are so sweet. So I'm adjusting my camera. Do you think I need to put a light up here on top of my phone? Is the lighting good or do we want more light? Because right now I have no little lights on. It's just that light in the corner and that's it. So let me know what you think. I do know there's a shadow on this side, so I usually do put a light on this side, but and I did charge them all today. Hey, Janice Kitty Queen. Hey. I always get so excited when I see you because I remember the first time you were here and what you said, and it like really just touched my heart. Hey, Janessa, the lighting looks all right. It's a little brighter on one side. Yeah, this side, there's one of those 5-prong light things over here, and actually two of the bulbs have blown out, and the only light over there is where my station is, and that's like way, way over there. Usually, I do put a light like up here. I'll do that. I did charge them, so that part I was prepared. Hey Tanya, hey Grace. So stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the imaging style that you're used to. Where's that from? I look funny, but yo, I'm making money. See, something, something, something. Gather round, cause I'm the new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the underground. This is moving my shoot. This is unstable, so when I put this light over here, it's making my phone move. Yep, Tanya. I was listening to that today about this light is weighing down the phone because the thing is not stable. On my old school hip hop USB. Well, actually, it's a lot of stuff on there. Gospel rap, praise and worship, um, country Christian music, old school hip hop. So it's like a mix of like everything. I'm gonna try to put this light somewhere. I have my tea here, and I have my water here. I got 26 pallets stacked in front of me that we're gonna go through today. Yeah, I thought I saw something moving, and it was. I have this roll of tissue here because I refuse to buy tissues, and the fan blew it, and this was blowing. So I was like, "What's moving?" Y'all, I watch too much horror and sci-fi for this type of stuff to be happening. So I'm gonna put this light. I'm gonna clip it on something over here. Oh, how is that? It's kind of blinding me though. Is that better? Okay, this is off. This is on. And I clipped it on here, and I put this on top of my laptop, which is on top of 2 boxes. I'll be doing the most, y'all. So we're gonna do the intro. Let me get my head together. I'm gonna do a base face. Just while we're chatting in the beginning. Y'all, I had a day today. I feel like I say that every time. City Beauty. Swatch party. No swatch party. Skinny Jean. We're doing my April monthly roundup. All the palettes I use in April. And it was 26. Starting with May, at this point, I have used everything in my stash. And so most of my pairing for April was to just use everything and start fresh in May. But then I'm thinking, like, is it that important? It is important for me to make sure I'm using all of my stuff. So I need to move these palettes. Yep, 26 palettes. We're going to look at and talk about 26 palettes. And y'all know I'm good for printing out stuff. Excuse me. And I kept it this way, like what I paired each one with. So this is a pairing, this is a pairing, this was by itself, this was by itself. These we paired, and I have the dates. And so I was really like keeping track of all of this stuff. I need to move these palettes so I could do my base face. So damn, a lot of stuff. So, and I can't slide it over because I have individual pieces of paper on my desk, and so if I slide it, it's going to move all the papers. And so, but these are all the palettes, all 26 of them that we're going to talk about. I do have an idea for a short series, and altogether, I feel like I'm yelling. Altogether, it's at least, well, for one series, there's 13 different looks, and I'm still recuperating from the weekend. From Saturday night was the event that I was excited about. The video airs tomorrow. When I got in Sunday morning, I did a video, and I was not wired on Mountain Dew, but I was just wired because I was like exhausted. And so I'm like, let me just do this video and tell them how it went. So that'll air tomorrow morning. Other than that, I have a video scheduled for the 9th, which I think is Troll Play, and then on the 23rd, so like 2 weeks after that, when there's another Troll Play. I don't have any other videos scheduled. And so this series that I'm thinking to do, I don't know if they're going to be live streams or videos, because, as I said, I still have not recuperated from Saturday night into Sunday morning. When I'm up a long time on my feet, or even if I sit a long time, my back pain flares up, my hips flare up, my knees, my ankles. And usually when I go down to the playhouse, I don't plan anything for like the next 2 days. And I just lay out and just rest. But Sunday, I already had a dinner date planned with a friend. And so I didn't get to like sleep late Sunday. He came to pick me up at like 5 o'clock. And so I knew it was going to be a long weekend. And then this morning, I had an appointment at the VA hospital, which meant getting up earlier than usual. And so my body has not had the rest that it needs. And I do want to get the content done, but I'm just like, I know I need to just chill. And it would be easier just to do the live, because then I can just do it and it's done, versus doing the video and then going back to edit. You know what I mean? Because then that's just more sitting in the chair. So sitting at the station, doing a look, and then sitting here at my desk. Oh, this is the ring light for this adjustable light. Excuse me for that glare. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm undecided, and y'all know I like to have videos going up, and so that's why I'm thinking to just do lives for some of those. So at least I'm still doing something. And so what that would mean is some of those would overlap with other lives that happen. Lori usually does Wednesdays, but sometimes she'll do other days of the week too. And I think Sons of Ray, I think hers vary. And I think it depends on like what's going on or what new is happening. I'm not sure. Because I do try to be mindful of that. But the good thing about lives is that it does automatically convert to a video, and so it's always here. Tragically tiring. Yeah. And I knew anytime I go down there, Skinny Queen, I know it's going to be hard on my body. But, and because of other stuff I had planned, I already knew I wasn't going to be able to rest like my body needs to. And so my first stop today on my way to, because where I live, if I go a certain way, I can hit, Dollar Tree, the grocery store, to get to the main road, to get to the hospital. So everything is like linear, and then you just loop around and come back. And so I went to the Dollar Tree because I had one of these before for my kit. And I like that you can lock it. You put the lid on it and you can lock the lid. And so I wanted some more of these, just like odds and ends stuff, because I found at the event it was really handy just having like all of my gel potted liners in here, and because you can see through it, that was easy. And so, but the Dollar Tree near me, they didn't have the smoke gray, so I got this color. It's what $1.25 tree store, and so I got 3 of the blue ones, and then I went to ShopRite because the juice that I make, I call it juice, but it's really tea, and that's what's in here. I use 2 tea bags. I put sugar in it and hot water in it, then I let it sit, and till it gets room temperature at least, which takes quite a while because that is insulated. I had 1 box of tea left, and so I looked online at ShopRite, and those Celestial Seasonings, the box of tea bags is 20 tea bags. They're usually like $3.89. They were on sale for $2.49. They were on sale from $3.89 down to $2.49. The maximum was 4 per flavor, or whatever. So I got four of them because I know I'm going to use them. And As I said, it's 20 in the box, and I use 10 each time I make, tea for here. So 10 days is a whole box of tea bags. You know what I mean? So then I went to my appointment at VA Hospital, and it was my Botox appointment. Yeah, I call it my juice because sometimes I just want something with flavor, and I was buying Gatorades a lot, like a case of Gatorade. But then I'm thinking like, okay, with prices going up, do I really want to keep buying like juice? Because it could be like $4, $5, $6 just for a gallon of juice. And even Gatorade, is expensive. And Aldi is cheaper than other places, but still, that might be like $10. Passion peach and that blueberry flavor, so good. Yeah. And so I said, you know what? And the tea flavor, my favorite is blackberry cherry. Oh my gosh, it is so good. And so I'm like, I'm gonna just make my own juice. So it's not quite iced tea because I don't put ice in it. I just let it cool down. So usually I'll make it in the morning before I go to sleep, and then the next evening, it'll be ready for consumption. And so, oh, and also I got gas at BJ's over there, and went into BJ's and purchased some things. I purchased this to try. I'm hoping I like it. I'm hoping my skin likes it. I heard a lot about this brand, ROC. It's expensive. This was, I think, like $38 or some change, but then they had a clipless coupon. So this brought it down to, I think, like $29. And so when I think about the other eye stuff I have, it might be 20 something dollars. Hey, Joe. And so for, $25, $26 for this, I'm like, that's a good price. And so I just hope that my eyes like it. It's supposed to help. This is the before, this is 4 weeks after. So it's supposed to soften the lines. But I just hope I don't have a bad reaction. So I got that. But I got some stuff to make chili with. They're boxes of canned beans. Y'all, why two of the different beans I got? The Best By date is in 2030. I lie to you not. I was just like, damn. So I'll probably just put them somewhere and just forget because I got another 5 years I can eat them beans. And so instead of buying chili beans, I said I'll just get black beans, pinto beans, because I have an Apenzi seasoning to make it taste like chili. You know what I mean? So something a news person said. I don't know if it was MSNBC or CNN, but what she said to me, it sounded perfect. She said she thinks people are going to buy more needs and less wants. And I'm like, they're going to buy more needs, meaning the stuff they need, and less wants, less of the stuff that they just want. So it'll be just us like reaccumulate. I'm making up a word. I have the word or my allocating. We're going to reallocate where our money goes instead of just like with the tea thing, making my own juice instead of buying juice or Gatorade, that type of thing. So just switching up where our money goes and still getting what we want and what we need without doing too much, I guess. And y'all, stuff is going up. Somebody at the event, and I did talk about it in the video that's going to air tomorrow morning. Because most people were like, oh, well, just, whatever. And one person was specific. They came up and said, oh, I just want one paw print. I said, I can see if I have one in my stencils. Because honestly, I don't know like where my head was, but I couldn't even like envision what a paw print looked like. Like I really couldn't. And I was just like, oh, let's look and see if I have a stencil. So I looked through some and she looked through some and I didn't have one. And she was like, well, thank you for letting me look. But I could not think of like how to. I was like, let's see if I have a stencil for that. But and so I did look on Temu, which is where I got the other stencils. And they had a pack of like 8 paw prints, y'all, for like $6 and some change. I'm like, oh hell no. The packs of stencils, the small ones, and it was about that size, maybe about this size. Some are smaller and some are like an oval shape. A pack of like 20 something was like less than $2. And so when I saw like 6 stencils and they wanted like $6 or $7, I'm like, shit, I ain't buying those. So I did Google and looked up paw print. And one of my good friends sent me a picture of a paw print. But I'm thinking like I'm gonna just be that one that okay, we're gonna do stencils or just flat out freehand because it's just gonna be what it's gonna be an inspired by type of look. Um, I'm just like, but I'm not gonna say much more about it because y'all will hear about that in that video. What I was saying earlier about yeah, yes they are. The only way I think they can get around it is if the warehouses are here because they do have a lot of warehouses throughout the United States. Because one of my orders was like 9 items. It was 4 different shipments because it came from all these different places, and the packaging never says Timu, so it's like whatever that person's name is or their business. So I'm just like, okay. Y'all gonna laugh at that video tomorrow. I titled it my first big event as a pro MUA, and then I put dot 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 the disrespect. I'm gonna tell y'all here, the disrespect wasn't from a person. When I was doing that video, because y'all know how sometimes I do videos and then I'll look and be like, oh, look at this or look at that, right? So I was doing the video and I noticed how jacked up my makeup was. And my mustache area was looking strong. And I'm like, the disrespect. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yo, it was so hot in there. There were times when I felt sweat just like rolling like down through here. And so I was just like patting with a paper towel. Um, but yeah, my under eye was looking crazy. The eyeliner I had put on was had ran. It was hot in there. Um, and part of my brows was padded off. And I didn't know that till I did the video. And I'm looking and I'm like, what the hell? The procedure is tomorrow. Finally, I'll have a lot less pain for the next 4 months. Joe, what's wrong? My primary diagnosis is fibromyalgia and chronic joint pain, and my secondary rating is migraines. And so I'm just saying that to say, like, I can relate to pain and wanting it to be better. But I do hope your procedure goes well, and I am excited that you will be in less pain because it's hard trying to function sometimes, and that's why I'm in pain now, just from being out and about and on my feet. I didn't sit long because once we got going, like people was coming. And even if they just was walking by or they would like slow down and look. And I did put a picture of my table in that video. And so people would walk by, slow down and look. And I would say, hi, how are you? Is there anything I can help you with or whatever? And so, and because my cheap ass Timu ring lights kept blowing out, and I think I just needed to fully charge them ahead of time. So it was the opposite side of my table. The other end of the table, there was just overhead lighting. It was still kind of dim, so I would have to like position them this way, do that side, and then position them that way. But to do that, I was still standing. When they were sitting in my chair, that chair is amazing, and I got that from Temu as well. It was almost $50. Um, I would still have to stand up and like lean over, like where their knees were, because it does have a foot bar, so you just sitting there comfortable. But I'm thinking, so my back was like, bitch. But I just realized I ain't even do the intro. I do want to do the intro if there's somebody new that watches the replay. But right now I'm just like doing my thing here. I have fibromyalgia, chronic joint pain. Yeah, yes. They're burning some of my main nerves so I won't feel the worst of the pain. That sounds awesome. And because it's hard. And I know you know because you deal with it. It's hard being in pain every day. And my injury was in 2000, in June 2000. I've been in pain somewhere in my body every day since. And this is what, 2025? So we're talking 25 years. And it is managed, but it's still like if I'm doing too much, it does spike. And so it's just like, okay. So I do hope your procedure goes well, Joe. Being in less pain is good. Y'all, I don't know what was going on with me today. I already mentioned that my Botox treatments, that usually knocks me out. I usually come home and I'll sleep for like 2 or 3 hours, and I do still wake up every hour and a half or so as usual, but I didn't have that option today to like go to sleep. Excuse me, when I got home, it was like almost 6 o'clock, and I'm just like, fuck. So I made a salad, ate that, because I needed to eat because I had drank Mountain Dew, and so I was just feeling weird because I didn't have any solid food in my stomach, and I had been drinking Mountain Dew to keep me alert. But so I ate the salad, watched some YouTube, and now we're here. So forgot where I was going with that. Yeah, today was a day. So, y'all, this looks good. I be looking good. I mean, I'm just saying. All right, let me just do this intro before I forget again. Hello and welcome. If you're watching the replay, my name is Dion. I call this the Crazy Troll Nation. We are family here because you see how I just came on and we just started chit-chatting about stuff, right? The crazy is for just knowing it's okay. Thank you, Tanya. Is knowing it's okay to be your authentic self in a world where people would say, don't do this, don't do that, you should do this, you should do that. Be your authentic self. That's the crazy part. And a lot of people still are concerned, like, what if they don't like me? Or what if, be yourself and your people will find you. Because do you want somebody that's only going to like you when you're doing what they expect you to do? I think most of us do want people to like us and love us for who we are. But in order for them to do that, they need to know who we are. So we need to be our authentic self. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a particular tool, a particular technique, a certain brand, because whoever's video you're watching, that's what they're telling you. Oh, you have to get this. You don't have to. If you want to do all the things, just do it because you want to, but not because you feel obligated because somebody said so. Because number one, they're not buying it for you. And number two, they don't even know you in real life to be like, oh, girl, that lipstick make your teeth look yellow. I put on, I think it was Always Red from Sephora. And I was talking in the video and I was like, ew, this makes my teeth look yellow. Y'all look like I had rubbed like cheddar cheese on my teeth. Like, no lie. That might be that troll play when I did the purple face. I was just like, ugh. Like my teeth look straight yellow. I was just like, no. I was going to put these on, but we're not. So the model here, yeah. Wear what you want to wear and just rock it. Here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we believe in self-acceptance and self-love. I shook this and it's never done it before, where I shook it and some just came out. Self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. Even though we're adorable in it. So that's the motto. 2 things about me. If you're new here, and if you're watching the replay and you're new, thank you. I appreciate you being here. We're trying to grow the Troll Nation here. And we're trying to grow the membership, Official Troll Ken. So consider that, and links are below. There's always a lot of links below, discount codes and stuff like that. Affiliate links and things. 2 things about me. I curse because I curse. I say that because some people don't care. Some people are offended by it. So I want them to know ahead of time that, I may be like, something. If you think I said something, most likely I did. So we'll just say that. But why did I even touch this? Oh! And the second thing is, there's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, belches, and gurgles. I try to be aware of it to say, excuse me. I'm thinking it's going to show up today because I ate a salad with leftover prime rib from yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, Sunday, from when I went out to dinner. And I thought I'll just eat half and then just eat the other half later. Y'all, before I knew it, I was like scraping the bottom of the bowl. Like it was that Mediterranean salad. But I did feel a lot better once I ate and I started hydrating. So that's that. And I already said, if I don't know if I'm gonna do videos for the project or do live streams. And I'm kind of feeling live stream because I can just do my base and then just come on. And the good thing is that it automatically converts to a video afterwards, and so it'll still be here to see. So let's get into these palettes. Where's my paper? All right, so had a crick in your neck lately. You think pain sets in after 40. How's your posture? Because for me, I did realize that I needed to work on my posture, especially at my station, because I realized I was hunching over, like when I would do my brows or do my eyeliner. So I had to, because then my back would start to flare up. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you know what? I need to sit straight. I need to just, like when I was in the military. And not be like, and it does make a difference. So yeah. So, oh Lord, it would be one at the bottom that we start with. Um, April 2nd. Oh, and that one? Oh Lord, y'all got April 2nd. We paired MAC Pride palette. I always gotta lean back with this one. MAC Pride palette. And we paired it with, and this is what that looks like. So we paired that with MAC's BYOP. I called this one Starry Night because I know that this shade is Starry Night. And it's that red, green, brown shifty shade that is common for almost every brand nowadays. And so this is what they look like together. And I'm looking at this pile here, and I want to say, no, I'm not. I was going to say everything's top tier, but it's not. And so both of these together, this monstrosity of the MAC Pride palette. These are what, I gotta move all the way over. These are what they look like together. And so yes, there's some overlapping color. And I don't even remember what the look we did was, but this is what they look like together. This is really nice. Yeah, this does seem to be a condensed version of this one, minus those bright blues, well, bright blue. But this is what those two look like together. Both of these are top tier, of course. I feel like I was going to say something. And, oh, just really quick. When am I ever really quick? I'm like a lying pastor. We won't be before you long, and the sermon be like 3.5 hours. Tell me I ain't lying. Tell me I ain't lying. I'll be like, I'm going to pray for you, pastor, because I know you lying when you say that every time. I'm not going to be before you long. It was one church I went to, they would take a break to have like an early dinner downstairs. Like, because it was a kitchen and a whole area down there, dining room. And I'm like, damn, like the service needed intermission? I'm like, I ain't coming here again. I'm like, I'm not, I mean, I'm all for, get your praise on, do whatever you want to do. But be here for like 6-7 hours? You got to have an intermission? And then, like, we're going to take a 15-minute break if you need to take your kids to the bathroom. I'm just like, how about you just let us go home? Anyway. Yeah, that's a true story, y'all. I was just like, it's like, oh, yeah, we break to have an early dinner, and then we come back, and he finishes the sermon. I'm like, look. Yeah, I ain't go back. So those two are top tier. On April 6th, we used, oh, that's a good one. We paired Eternal Beauty, both of these are Notoriously Morbid, and Shadows of the Vampire. And this is what Eternal Beauties look like. This is one of their new ones. I do want the two larger palettes they came out with. I think they're 30 shades each. Because I was thinking that would be great for my kit, because that would be all the colors. But then I'm like, I have all the Natashas in there, which are good for like almost 3 years or more. So I'm like, do I really want to get these right now? And so the answer is no. And I do, as far as I know, they're not limited edition, so I can always go get them. If the PAO was 24 months, I would still just get it. But it's 12 months. And yes, you can wear them longer. But on the pro side, we are really supposed to get rid of stuff when it says get rid of stuff. You know what I mean? And so I'm just like, I'm going to wait on that. So this is what these two look like together. And I'm kind of wondering if this was a request, a member request, but I don't remember if it was or not. Because I'm like looking at this like, why? Because I don't think I would pair these, because they both have the black, they both have a purple, they both have the reds. They both have, like, this shimmer up top in the middle is similar to either this one or this one. And so I don't think I would have just thought to pair these, like, just because. You know what I mean? The only thing that makes it really different is that bright red, this one down here, in that center shade, because everything else is very similar. And so, but these are top tier. I failed at Nina's member request to do a 669 inspired look. No, actually, it was supposed to be a 669 dupe look with this one because I was saying how to me this looks like a baby sister to the 669. But when I did the look, it wasn't a dupe. So Nina, she's so sweet. She was like, we'll say it's inspired by. And so I asked her if she would like me to do it again. And then I had an idea to do a halo look with this. And she was like, ooh. And so we're going to use this again this month if I can get myself together and do that. This one is very easy to work with. This palette, and even Eternal Beauties, like I don't get a lot of fallout, if any. It might just be like a little bit. But I really like this. They had this as free gift with purchase, but I already had it. And so I didn't purchase another one. And then on the what? Oh, I used this again near the end of the month, the 29th of the month. So we used that twice. So I do think this was a request for me to have paired these together, I think. And me thinking can be a dangerous thing. I know. Excuse me. Am I missing? Wait a minute. I forgot a palette, y'all. No, I didn't. I have two stacks in front of me and then one over here. Oh, I got no. My right hip just snapped. Because these have been sitting over there since the last day of April. So we paired. Oh, I loved it. We paired Natasha Denona, Yucca palette. We paired this with all three of Notoriously Morbid Rusted Essence palettes. This is just Rusted Essence. And so we paired these two together. Y'all look at that. So what Rusted Essence does, the first one they came out with, it gives those pops of orange and this yellow this green, whatever color that is right there, and this shade here in the middle. And so we paired those. These are all top tier. And that excites me that a lot of stuff I'm like, okay, we know this is top tier. This is Rusted Essence Volume 2. We paired that with this palette. And I like that there's these grungy tones right here, but then I also, excuse me for the glare, that it also has those purples and like those pinks. You know what I mean? And that's why I was saying I don't think it was my idea to pair Shadows of the Vampire with Eternal Beauties because the color story are similar. Whereas there's some similarities in here, but just with these shades, and then the rest are different. So it allows me to have that pop, or to just, just use it up a little bit kind of thing. So that was that one. And we also paired it with Notoriously Morbid Rusted Essence Volume 3. This one, this is a pretty palette. So, and these are these two together. The one in the center, as you can see, is the dual chrome. Is this the one where I had to press it? I wonder, it looks, oh. This one, y'all see how it looks like there's a crack on this side? But I don't know if it really is. I didn't notice that before. Like this edge right in here on this shade, like this edge. Y'all see that line? I'm trying to think if that's one that I had to press. Because if so, that would make sense. But I don't remember it looking like that, to be honest with you. But, and y'all know my memory is... So, but these are what these two look like together. And I did enjoy doing these looks. So we know these are top tier. We know that, man. So when I was saying how the news lady, I don't even remember what news channel it was, because I usually just watch MSNBC, but it might have been CNN, when she said that people are going to shop more needs and less wants. Like, do y'all feel that to be true? And then we used, because when she said that, I'm like, because for me personally, that's what I've been doing, is buying more needs, and not that I need it now, But just buying stuff or like canned goods that'll last for like 3, 4 years, going by the dates that's on them and stuff like that. This is warm neutrals from Sigma that Jennifer Steps has sent me, and her name is her YouTube name, Steps, Stepps. So her name is Jennifer Steps. This came gift with purchase, excuse me, for the glare. She already had it, and so she sent this to me. And the backstory is when I had saw her video, and she was saying this is going to go somewhere, and I'm like, is it really? And so she has, I think she has her email in her description box like I do. And so I emailed her like, I'll buy it from you if you want, or at least let me pay shipping. And she said it was coming to me anyway. She said when she had said that in the video, she knew it was coming to me. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And so she sent me this. And I really do like it. It is very monochromatic. This shade is a non-shade for me. The only thing I would use this for is just a thin line under my brow because this shade don't want to play. It doesn't want to pick up. I don't know. I can't. It doesn't look like. Yeah, it is. It's like a really hard pan. It just this right here is a dud. But everything else in here is really nice, very easy to use. I took this with me to Academy, and this was the only eyeshadow palette I took to Academy, which means I used it 3 days in a row. I do like the looks. They were kind of similar to the point where one person asked me the last day, they're like, Miss Dion, is that your go-to color? It's like the purplish reds? And I'm thinking, actually, no. But so that's what told me, like, yeah, like people are noticing it's like all kind of the same thing. But the looks were pretty, and I am glad to have this. I'm I'm going to say this is mid-tier only because it is monochromatic, and that's what gave me hope for this one so that it wouldn't be. And this is a nice fire shade too, but it doesn't show up this vibrant on my complexion. But it's definitely a very easy palette to use. But we're going to put this mid-tier. But I do really like that though. And y'all know I'm all for easy, nice looks, low mess, good formula. Then we used, where that? We used quite a bit of lethal. Yeah, that light went out. And then if I hit it, it comes right back on though. So I don't know if it's on a timer or what. So we paired a lot of lethal because I do have quite a bit BYOPs. Why don't I see the one I'm looking for? I'm looking for the one that's in my hand. I got them all in my hand. Rainbow Orchid, which is this one. Y'all look at this palette. Look at these colors. Lethal just does it for me. Oh my gosh. And I don't know like what my future holds with Lethal because they're overseas and I'm like so shipping will probably go up, but it's not like I'm a business and I'm having it imported in, you know what I mean? So I'm not quite sure like how that's going to work out. I paired that with Unfiltered Nudes from MAC. And that's what I love these. I do recommend these. I would have recommended these for Mother's Day shopping, but it was a Sigma recommendation. I mean, no, it's a Sephora recommendation video. So these are what they look like together. So we got our colors from Lethal, and we got our base colors from Unfiltered Nudes. Both of these palettes are super easy to work with. MAC's formula, y'all, for me, it just works. 0 to like minimal mess, and it just works. And with this palette, because of the color story, whatever I do with it is going to look nice. And even though it is monochromatic, the way these show up on me, they show up the way they look in a pan, where other palettes, it shows up lighter or darker. Like these show up. And so looking at all these colors, this is the variety I get when I use it. Whereas like with the Sigma warm neutrals, like it was all kind of the same. But so we got our grounding shades from MAC, and we used the bright colors, the bold colors from Lethal for that look that we did. Yeah, both of these are top tier. I feel like it's something I'm forgetting to tell you, and I feel like I'm talking real fast. Like, I don't know. And I don't feel like I'm rushing, but I just feel like I'm rushing. I know that didn't make sense. You know what it is? I'm going to tell you what it is. It's y'all. because when I'm talking and then I'm reading comments and then we have some discussion, and so I'm just like blah 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 all by myself. Somebody talk to me. So this is these are top tier, and then and then we paired Motley, and the names of these my members helped me with the names. They gave me name suggestions for my BYOPs, and then in a live stream, we asked everyone like, okay, between these two suggestions for this one palette, like, what do you think? And so that's how we came up with it. But the names that the attendees picked had to be one of the names that the members had suggested. So we paired Motley. Oh, we did we? I'm like, oh. And I printed this out last minute because I did just have the list of palettes out, but I didn't have what they were paired with, which is how I had it in my memo in my phone. So then I just shared that to my email and printed that out like maybe an hour ago. So these are these two. So this is Golden from Natasha at the top. And so we kind of did the same thing. Our grounding shade, outer corner, if we did a transition, brow bone shade from Natasha, and we used the lethal for the color. And so looking at these, it's like, what? But it works though. And I was thinking too, like traditional YouTube style, do your transition, do a crease, do outer corner, and I'm like, that could be this palette, even I don't usually do my makeup that way. But it was, yeah, I really enjoyed pairing these two because I'm like, what? But it worked. It worked. Our next one, we paired Rainbow Sherbet because of Janessa. Because it was Sherbet, and she put a joke in the chat. Bert asked Ernie something, and Ernie said, sure, Bert. So I'm like, so we have Rainbow Sherbet. I was like, that was very clever. And I get a kick out of it every time I say it because it reminds me of that moment. So Rainbow Sherbet, this is the one that I put together from clearance shadows, and I only purchased them because I didn't have these shades. And it surprised me that they made a cohesive palette. And that made me realize that anything from Lethal is going to work with anything else from Lethal. Because these were just random shades. But look at the palette though. Like, does this look random? This looks like something you would buy. This column is a look. This column is a look. That column is a look. This column is a look. This is the column we used. We did one eye with this and the other eye with Pat McGrath, Nocturnal Nirvana. And quite a few people thought that this look was the Pat McGrath one because of how bold these are. And it made Pat look dim and dusty. And even though these are marbled, the ones down here, they do just show up as one shade. And the top row is the matte shade. I mean, the matte, you know what I mean. But it just really surprised me that just picking random shades, and this is a very cohesive palette. I love this palette. So we paired that with, feels like my voice is trying to leave me. We paired, oh, did we really? Y'all, I'd be surprising myself, like I did that. Something else I realized too, y'all. We paired it with Natasha Denona Glam / Retro Glam. 4 of these shades are from Retro Glam. I don't remember which ones. And I thought I had a paper in here that said so, and I'm sure I do because y'all know I'm a label hoe. So we paired this with Motley. And so this is what these look like together. This was very interesting. So there are a lot of like neutral tones, darker tones. Well, not even dark, like neutral tones with the Natasha one. And so we use that for that, and we use the lethal for, the bold colors, the brighter colors. So that's what we did for that. I'm hoping, oh my gosh. I was ready to knock over my tripod. Let me know, somebody just let me know y'all still here, because it's never this quiet in here. And so I'm wondering if YouTube is doing something weird again. So somebody please just be like, yep, we're here. Because I'm really wondering. Because y'all never this quiet. The last comment I see is face flawless, and that was a little while ago. So the next pairing, ooh, this is nice. We paired Mary Mean One from Notoriously More, but I do have a 15% off code. I admit that I'm annoyed that the order I placed on April 11th still has not shipped yet. And today is May 4th, 5th, 5th. So I am kind of annoyed at that because they made a thing about shorter turnaround time. And I'm like, no, it's not. But anyway, but I do love the brand. I love their formula. This shade surprised me because it's green, but once I put my brush in it, it has that purplish this tone to it, but it's just like in the middle. I think that is so freaking cool. And so we paired that with Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I know I didn't say it, but the other ones I just showed you are top tier as well. Top tier as well. So this is what these look like together. Tell me this don't look good. So I was excited to put these together. And I was excited to use the ABH palette again because I had not used it, excuse me, in a while. And I don't remember the look that we did, but I'm sure I loved it. Both of these are top tier. Those, I don't know, y'all. Like, are y'all here? Or is YouTube just, y'all saying stuff in YouTube is acting up? The live I did with Janessa, y'all, that was so much fun. There was, at some point in the live, the comments on her side weren't showing up. But then they started showing up again. But it was a period of time when she was like, I'm not seeing any new comments. Because I have the habit of reading them. And she was like, I don't see that. The last one I see is such and such. And so it may be YouTube. I don't know. Then we used Petalmorphosis from Pat McGrath. I was going to say Natasha. Petalmorphosis. Y'all know what this looks like. And I do have an idea for this. And this is part of the project that I want to do. And so this is what that looks like. Probably should just hold it upside down, right? I have not taken the plastic off of here. I have not taken the plastic off of the mirror. And I think subconsciously, did I say that funny? Subconsciously, I think it's because I know I'm not going to keep this long term. So let's just keep it as much as possible. And it was just earlier this morning when I finally cut the card so that it'll fit in here. And I can close the palette with the card in it. So I did just finally do that. And so this is what this looks like. And so I want to say what the project is, but then I don't. Because I'll say it, and then before I start it, I'll see other people doing it. And I'll be like, and it's not, some people get upset about that. And somebody said this a while ago in a video, probably like a couple of years ago. They were like, oh, I have this idea, but I'm not going to say what it is because when I've said before what my ideas are, other people stole my idea. And I'm thinking like an idea is that's all it is isn't it? All it is an idea. So nobody can't steal that from you. You know what I mean? So I was just kind of like, but I understand like when you don't see a thing and then you say you're going to do it and then you see other people doing it, you're like, I know they're doing that because they heard me say it. You know what I mean? But that's how life is. So, yeah. So my idea is to pair this with other palettes. And I already have a list. So we're going to be seeing this a lot. And all together, there's 13. I don't want to lie to you. All together, I got palettes on top of the paper. All together, it's 13 looks. So we're going to pair this. And I did talk about Subversive. We are going to do, I'm aiming for 3 more pairings with this and Subversive. Subversive was the avant-garde palette and it's smoky. I love it. That's the only one I had left except for this one. Midnight Sun and Bronze Seduction are still in my Macari store. So I do want to at least try to get 3 more pairings with Subversive with this, but we'll see how the first 2, well, it will be the second and third because we did pair this already once with Subversive. But I just want to really see what this palette can do, and not just with Subversive, but with other stuff. So it's going to be, we're aiming for 3 more with Subversive. So that means 10 other palettes we're going to pair this with to see what this can do. Because y'all know I'm not a one and done. if you are a one and done person, this is super easy. Put this on your lid, and if you're bold, put this outer corner, which most people wouldn't put this on and then this one, or just a one and done, just put this on, or a two and done, put this on, put this for your tear duct. You know what I mean? Or put this all over your lid and layer it with the out one. But y'all know I'm not a one and doneer. Like I'm just not. But so I just want to see like how much I can get out of it. And I actually am excited to do the pairings. I actually really am. And that says a lot. I'm still going to put this just mid tier for right now because it's not my color story. And I know I'm not going to keep it long term. It was easy to use. A little bit of fallout. If I tried to keep packing on shadow, if I just placed it on and left it alone, I didn't have a lot of fallout. But yeah. So that's this one. So that's my plan for this one. And those are the videos I was saying. I don't know if I want to do videos or just a live stream because the way I'm feeling right now is Monday. The way I'm feeling right now, and I'm hoping I feel fully recuperated by Wednesday, which means not doing anything Tuesday and not doing anything Wednesday. And I don't want to not have videos go up. And I'm trying to think if I do have videos going up this week. Friday we have a troll play video going up, but y'all know I like to have stuff every day, almost every day. So and so that's where my head is at with that. So this is what Subversive looks like, and I'm gonna hold this up with Petalmorphosis. This is from the Buffet Witch. Her name is Jasmine. And she started doing videos because I kept trying to get her to do videos because she was mostly just doing stuff on Instagram. And she finally started doing videos. And she was saying something about she was decluttering something or whatever. And I said, well, if you want to declutter that, can I have the name card? Because I didn't think till later on to cut the card and put it inside the palette. And I like how she had cut it where it's like grooved like that. And so every time I open this, I think of her because of how she cut it. I just was cutting them square. But so these are what they look like together. And they do look good together. They really do. I really like how they look. And so that was the first pairing with these two. So we're going to try for at least 3 more. And what it depends on is if it starts to look like, okay, well, the second look was similar to the first, so then why do a third? You know what I mean? That type of thing. Then we used, so let me move 12 over to mid tier. Subversive is top tier, of course. And then we have the Inslee Rain palette. Y'all know what? I feel like I'm torn about this palette, Underland. The color story is definitely my vibe, and even taking out the shadows, the 3 that were pressed pigments, is still very much my color story. But what I realized is I think we did 3 looks because we did, I think, one eye, did another one. And I think when we swatched it, we did. When we did the swatch party, I put them on my lids. And that's when I used, I think it was this one by mistake. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to get this off. I did have a slight reaction for a couple of days, but it wasn't horrible. So I think I had it on maybe 25 minutes before I washed it off. But this is definitely my color story. It's definitely grunge. But what I realized is, even going from, this side using, popping in these shades, or this row popping in like these shades, the looks were kind of similar. And so then I'm like, is there versatility in this palette? And it's beautiful. And I love it. And I purchased it knowing I wouldn't be able to use 3 of the shades. But the looks are just looking like the other looks I've done. I think I've done maybe 3 or 4 looks so far with this. And so I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I would probably have to just do like 1 shade on the lid and do outer corner and transition instead of doing all the things like I like to do. And so I feel a little disappointed. I don't regret buying it because if I didn't buy it, I would be lusting over it. But I was just kind of like, why do these looks look different than the other looks? And I made sure to do different shades and put them in different places. And so it wasn't a thing like well, if you put the same transition shade in the same outer corner, you know, they're going to all look similar. It wasn't even like that. But I was just like, what I have not done, I don't think I've done this look with these two because I don't really want to do monochromatic. I haven't used like these three for a look. I haven't used these three for a look. And that's what other people did. So it's already here on YouTube if that's what you want to see. And so, you know, just trying to mix the sides. But, and maybe we'll just do something funky. Like just do like these three and put this outer corner and maybe put like this on the lower lash line, something. I just need for it to do something other than it's been doing, which really I'm the one that did it, you know what I mean? So it's not the palette's fault. Which reminds me, somebody before was like, don't blame the palette because such and such. And I'm like, how can I blame a palette? It is what it was created to be. It doesn't think for itself. It doesn't do anything. So I thought that was funny. I'm like, blame the palette. But anyway, so I'm gonna put this mid tier because it's not inspiring me because the looks were similar, even though I use different shadows in different places. So that's mid tier, and that was expensive too, y'all. What? And then so that one we did not pair. Ooh, hi-fi color from MAC. Y'all, look at this. What I like about these is what you see on the outside is what you see on the inside. So this is hi-fi color, and I haven't used this in a while either. So I was really glad to get back to it. And this is Starry Night, which is in the BYOP that I call Starry Night because when I see the shade, I know exactly what it is. Excuse me, chrome yellow does not work for me at all. It doesn't want to pick up. It doesn't want to put down. It's just like I'm in here just to be bright and pretty. Like I'm not here to be used. So she's like that hoe that don't want to work. Like she's just here, but she don't want to be used. I'm tripping. I am tripping. I am tripping. So I knew not to even send an invite to the party to that one. But this is what that looks like. And we paired that with, ooh, y'all, this palette. This is Jade Dreams. Y'all see this, right? This is from Spellcast Beauty, the sister brand to Notoriously Morbid, but you also purchase this from the Notoriously Morbid website. 15% off code down below. It is affiliated. And so, and all of these are like I was saying with the MAC ones, what you see is what you get on the inside. And when I first opened it, like I thought this was going to be like a green blue palette. But the shifts in some of these shades, it's like, oh no, honey. Like even just these two. Like you see how they look almost the same, but then they shift. And even here they look kind of the same. This one just looks more bright or more bold. But when I put these on, this is not a green monochromatic palette at all. And the first look I did with this, I was like, oh my gosh. Because I'm thinking this is going to be all just, you know, green. But this surprised me. And look at this one right here. Look at that. And this one just gets brighter when the light hits it. But I don't think it has a shift though. This one, I see pink right now. And then it's that blue. And I paired that with this. I'm like, y'all. That look was so much fun. Oh my gosh. These palettes, this really surprised me. So that's why that's top tier. MAC is top tier. I feel like MAC is always going to be the it girl for me, even though she went on vacation for a little while. Because a lot of stuff they come out with just isn't my vibe. I think the last thing before these that I purchased was the Black Panther palette, and I didn't even keep that long. So I was just like, and I think that was more so, excuse me for smacking me, just wanting to support the franchise. You know what I mean? But I don't regret buying it though, and it was a nice palette, but it just didn't do much for me after I used it a few times. Then we did Future Flames, and again, what you see outside is what you see on the inside. I did one eye with this, and then the other eye I did with, I think it was Sunlit Seduction. The looks looked almost identical, y'all. I promise you. I was just like, really? And even though this looks monochromatic, just like Unfiltered News, like it's not, because all of the different tones And for me, they do show up how they look. Like some palettes, if they have two reds, I'll put them on, they look exactly the same. Not with this palette, they don't. And so it might look like, yeah. Or, let me hold this up with the one that does all the looks did look the same. And when I ran through this palette when I first got it, the looks were different. Whereas with the Sigma one, they all kind of look the same because of how the shades show up on me. And so I think you can tell um, that the MAC one does have more versatility to it because of the different colors in it. What did we pair that with? Let me see. So we paired this with, ooh, we paired that with our Martine Cosmetics 669 dupe palette. That's what this looks like. Y'all know I love this freaking palette. And when I first got it, well, when I first put it together, I did the top row, did a look, and with 669, I did the other eye. They were very similar. Second look, the middle row, one eye, Martine Cosmetics 669, other eye, and they were very similar. And that made me feel good because I wanted to do that palette, and I did. This one, the only thing that's tricky with this one is the dual chrome. And there were some dual chromes in 669, but there wasn't a blue purple flip one. And so I did a look with the bottom row here, one eye, and the other eye 669, and they were similar. And you can find those on my channel if you want to see those. So these are what they look like together. And I don't remember like which one we used for base shades or not. I really don't. But these are what they look like together. And I did really like the look. I can say, like, I honestly do like the looks that I do, like, just in general. And lately I've been like wowing myself because I haven't been sitting down and planning out looks and writing out placement like I used to do. And I'll just look at the palette and be like, yeah, I think we're going to do this, and that. And then we do it, and it's like, wow, this is really nice. So then we have, the last two, y'all. Candyland from Lethal. That's what this one looks like. This one is UV reactive, and so is this one. I haven't tested it. I don't have a black light, and I don't foresee buying a black light. Though it would be cool, though. Like if I was at another event and I had UV reactive shadows and, you know, have them hold up the light or whatever. But then once they leave where I am, like, you leaving my light. So then I'm like, would that even be necessary? Like if I was going to a rave where they do have just black light in general, that would be one thing. But and I bought them because I like the colors. Yo, and this shows up bold. I wore this one day. It was last year when I was hanging out with my cousin, the cheerleader one, and their colors is hot pink and white, and I think black also. And I put this on, and I had on one of her team shirts, and it was like the same exact color. And her mom was like, "That is the color," and I'm like, "Girl, look at this." She was like, "Wow." And so, but this is bold, and it does show up like that. Sometimes with bold colors, they don't want to play, but this one is playing. And we paired that with our Spare Squares Lethal palette. I believe it was Sandy that named this one because these were just like leftover shadows. So she was like, well, spare squares. You know, these are spare shades of their square. I'm like, it works. And so these are what they look like together. And so I do know I like the look with this. Lethal just works. It works with itself. It works with other people. Well, other shadows, other brands. But that's what that looks like. So everything, these are top tier as well. So everything is top tier except Underland from Inslee Rain, because right now I'm not getting versatility from it. But we're going to work on that. We're seriously going to work on that because the color story is my color story. And that's what's throwing me off. I'm like, how can this be my color story? And I'm like a little bored. You know what I'm saying? So, but we're going to try our best because this is my color story. And it would be a shame if this didn't make it to the top tier. This is mid-tier as well. I did try to dupe this with my lethal shadows because looking at this, and if you think back to the ones I've even showed you from so far in this live stream, like some of the shades were, and my, I don't know what they call it. The downfall of that, me duping this with lethal, is that I just eyeballed the colors. I didn't do swatches, and so when I did the look, like the looks weren't the same. And it was one of them things where, guess which one is what, and at the end I revealed which one was what. But some people guessed it, and then some didn't, and then some were like, "Oh, that was what I thought at first." But then, I said the other one, and it turned out to be the first one. But so, like it's dupable in a way, but then it's not. It's just something about the tones. And I've seen other people do swatches of it, and some shades they can do. I did not have any dupes for this shade or for this one, and these were iffy because they flip a little bit. Gigabyte, well, this is not Gigabyte, this is Gigabyte Little Sister, that flips a little bit. What surprised me, I think I put this next to this one, I think, and they showed up the same or a different green from another palette, and it looked the same, and I'm like, what? I was confused. And so this is mid-tier, and the only other one that's mid-tier, just because, and I think this will always be mid-tier because it is really just a monochromatic palette, but it is very easy to use, and I would take this, traveling because it's easy to use. It's going to look nice wherever I put whatever. It's going to look right, and sometimes when I'm away, I gotta just get her done. So that's that. But everything else is top tier. I'm really hoping YouTube is messing up because I still only see that last comment from before, face flawless. And so Candyland, top tier. Spare Squares. This is just a really pretty palette. And I love this shade right here. I believe it's Biome. And it's that typical flip. That green burgundy purple flip. But it is just so freaking pretty. Like, look at this shade. That is just... And it goes with everything in here, too. And because of the flip, you can put it next to this one, next to that one. Well, these two are mattes. Do your outer corner for this one. Inner corner, brow bone. It trips me out because when I turn it on, it comes right back on. So I do think it's on the timer. But anyway. So this is a really pretty palette. And... Ooh. Top tier Future Flames from MAC. I do highly recommend these 12 pan palettes. That's what that looks like. And these are not monochromatic palettes. Not for me anyway. Even though it looks like it would be, it's really not. And that surprised me. And that made me love it even more. Is that it did surprise me. Feels like my throat is sounding weird. Not my throat, my voice. Hi-Fi Color. Love this palette. That's what that looks like. Except this shade is just there just to be there. And these are not removable, but I probably could like damage it to get it out, but it's not that serious. Unfiltered News, I absolutely love this one. I did one look with this and one look with Subliminal, which is my favorite mothership, which is ironic because I sold it like a few weeks ago or a month ago. But I did one eye with this and one eye with Subliminal, and they look very similar. Because I was trying to figure out like what else can I get rid of. And just because this has more shades and is less messy and all of that, so I kept this one instead. And I really like this palette. I do recommend these as well. And let's do the rest of Lethal so we can just put everything in a stack. Our 669 dupe. I freaking love this palette. My Mission Triple X palette, that's more of an inspired palette, where this one is a dupe for the 669. Rainbow Shore Burt. Thank you, Janessa. That's what this one looks like. This is just a pretty ass palette. This is, wow, this is just a pretty palette. And Motley. That's this one. This gives me that grunge vibe. But not like the messy grunge type, even though I could do that with this. But this is just easy, like a quick, easy grunge look, a quick, easy goth look, just because of the tone of these colors. This is really pretty. I'll be saying that like, oh, this is really pretty. Like I haven't seen these and like I didn't put them together. This one is Rainbow Orchid. This is pretty. You see what I'm saying? And I try not to keep repeating myself, but then when I open it, I'm just like, ooh. And so much so that I wonder, like with the BYOPs I have from Lethal, like I have all the shades I could possibly want from them, like up to now. And there was a time when I thought, would I be content if I only had the lethal shadows, the lethal BYOPs I have? And the honest answer would be no, because my nature is sometimes I want something different. And looking at my other top tier, like I wouldn't want to get rid of these just to keep the lethal. Like if I had to choose, I would not choose. You know what I'm saying? Because I love these as much. But the lethal, because they have so many different finishes, all of them are easy to use. Their Pure Metals collection irritated my lips. Those are the only ones I had a problem with. But all of their other stuff, it just works well with itself. It works well pairing it with other brands. Minimal to no fallout. And it's just really pretty. This one from Notoriously Morbid Mary Mean one. They sent this to me for Christmas. Well, not for Christmas. This was their seasonal release. I don't know what to call it. And this is what that is. And it's not as monochromatic as it looks. This was the palette I used to do a Grinch look for our family dinner. And that's on here somewhere. That's one of the troll play looks. I don't think I did that live though. I mean, I don't think I did a video for the look. I know I posted pictures. But this is what that looks like. And it is pretty. There's a few that shift in here. Not really strong shifts. And one thing I will say about Notoriously Morbid, shades like this, it shows up like that. Like boom pow. Boom pow. Notoriously Morbid. We're gonna go through those. Rusted Essence number 3. This is pretty. My eye goes immediately to that center shade, and then it goes to this grunge down here at the bottom. But I really like this. And sometimes I think too, like, what if it was just Lethal and Notoriously Morbid? This is Rusted Essence Volume 2. I just love them. Rusted Essence. This one they sent to me, and then I purchased Volume 2 and Volume 3. Well, wait a minute. No, they sent me number 3. Excuse me, and I purchased Volume 2 and Volume 1. And that was because of Tony, and I keep saying I need to check on her. Because during one of my live streams, she's like, oh, I bought the bundle. Because they had bundled all 3 together. And I'm like, I don't have all the other ones. So then I bought number 1, just Rusted Essence. And then Volume 2. Because I'm like, I want them all. She got them all. That is really why I purchased them. And I was glad that I did. But yeah, that's why I really got them. I'm like, I want them too. And then we have Shadows of the Vampire. This is basic in a way, but the color story, it is Shadows of the Vampire. So you have, this black is black. And it looks like it has shimmer in it, but when you put it on, the shimmer doesn't show up. This is pretty. Everything in here shows up the way it looks in the pan. On me, anyway. And, yeah. So you got your smoke, you got a couple pops, and then you have for, brow bone, inner corner. I don't know where I put this at, but I know I did use this quite a few times. And so, oh, and I have a look on a sticky note on here to do with this. Oh. Ah. Well, we're going to have to do that, aren't we? I still have a paper in Circle Loco, I think, and it's something else that's been there forever of a look for me to do, and for whatever reason, I just didn't. And then Jade Dreams from Spellcast Beauty from Notoriously Morbid. And Anastasia, no, let's stick with Notoriously Morbid because we got one left from them top tier that we used in April. And that's what this one looks like. Very gothy, very dark. The first 3 looks I did one look with these 2 columns. So that was a smoky look. Our second look was these right here. That was interesting. So this was the lightest look because of these two shades. And our third look was these two columns. Even though this is a metallic and this one is a matte, they showed up exactly the same on my lid. You could not tell where one was and where the other one was. It blended into the same shade. And that surprised me because this being a metallic, I thought it was going to show up different, but no, it showed it exactly. These look like the same exact shade on my lid, and so did these two. This has shimmer in it, but once you put it on, you don't really see the shimmer. And this is just a flat black. This is like a smoke gray. This one looks like it has a green undertone to it, and then we have another gray and another gray. But this is a pretty palette. I could see if someone does lean towards monochromatic looks, this will be easy because you can do your gray look, add a black outer corner, upper lash line. You can use this one and these two reds and do a red look. I don't know what to say about the purple, but if you want an ethereal look, this one and these two, or this one and these three. So there are different things that can be done with this, but I really don't lean toward monochromatic, even though I do them sometimes because it's going to look pretty because they're all in the same color family. Anastasia Beverly Hills Fall Romance palette. I do want to use this some more. The looks I did with it, a couple of them, I was just like, but I'm the one that chose the colors and the placement, so that's on me. But I do want to do more with this because this is also very much my color story. You know what I'm thinking now? Where's Underland from Inslee Rain? Let's see what that looks like next to Fall Romance. Because they're both my color story. But let's see. So this is Inslee Rain Underland, and this is Fall Romance. Maybe? I don't know. Because I definitely would put this somewhere just to break up the two reds that's in Underland. But, I'm trying to envision a look and it's not coming to me. So we're going to put this down and I'm going to stop hurting my brain. Because sometimes I see stuff right away and then sometimes I don't. And then I feel like I'm forcing it. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to force it. Where was this at? Oh, this was mid-tier. This was under here. And this is top tier. I was so glad I got this. It was semi-impulse purchase buy. I went into Sephora to pick up something. I saw this and I did a double take. And I'm like, nope. So I went home. The next day I went back and got it. So it wasn't impulse, like saw it and buy it right away. Because I'm like, you know what? Let me just wait a day. And so I went and got it. Subversive top tier. This is smoke. I'm interested to see what she does over in the Louis camp as creative director. Because if she goes back to this was her avant-garde palette. If she goes back to this, yes, give me that. But I need a coupon and points because Louis expensive and we know Pat expensive anyway. So the two of them together, that's an expensive ass baby. For MAC, top tier is, I always gotta lean back for this one, the Pride palette. I do have a collab coming up for Pride Month with a dear friend, and that's going to be a lot of fun. It always is. You know what I'm thinking now? If we should do that as a live. Me and Janessa are going to do I don't think we collabed for Pride last year, did we? Because I do usually do a Pride look. Because we did a collab with this palette before. And she random generated 4 shades, and I used a random generator for the other 4 shades. And so that's how we came up with the 8 shades that we use for that look. I just love this. It's like a puffer jacket, and it's soft. And these are removable and replaceable, the shadows, the pans. And so I can keep this forever and ever and ever and ever. So now I'm thinking, because y'all really enjoyed the live that we did, and at the end I'm like, should we do this again? And y'all were like, yeah, yeah. So we are going to do another live, and so now I'm wondering if we should do our Pride look as a live stream. I'll talk to her and see. Yeah, that live was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of fun. And we have our other MAC palette, our Starry Night one, as I call it. This one. So there's a green row, a smoke, semi-smoke row, and whatever that is. But when I use it, I do like hop around. But I really enjoy this, and this does really show up. And it's just a shame that Chrome Yellow and other palette doesn't. I think that one is just a dud. Because every now and then that'll happen, and nobody else will talk about it. So I'm like, okay, it's just mine, I guess. But then some people don't want to say something if it's not praising the brand or the formula, which I think is unfortunate because if it's something wrong with it, somebody else might have that same issue, and it can be validating, and you won't feel like, oh, it's just me. It ain't just you, boo boo. So our last three that we used for April, we used 26 palettes. In part because we paired. So it's not like I did like one palette for 26, a different palette for 26 days. So this is the warm, is it the warm? This is the golden palette mixed with star shades. The ones that look too small for the pan, those are from the Star Mini palette. This one right here, this one right here, and these two. And so we use that top tier glam mixed with retro glam. I really love this the way it looks. I really do. And I'm wondering, like, if I had them both again, like, would I mix them again? But I don't know. Because then, too, over time, like, I do different things. I try different things. And even with shades that don't always show up nice, I can find a use for them. Use them for a blend out shade or, something. And this is the Yucca palette that has one retro glam shade, and that's this one. And this shade is Marlin from Retro Glam. Everything else besides this one is original to the palette. And I knew when I saw this palette I was buying it. I was going to break my perpetual low buy. I'm like, this is my swamp water. This is murky. And I was going to pay full price. And Grace has sent me a code that she saw somewhere for 15% off. And I was like, thank you. So I was able to maintain my perpetual low buy because I was going to buy this full price. I'm like, I'm getting it. I don't care. Like, this is all the way me. And I do really like this palette. And I love the formula. The only thing I will say, this one and this one look the same on the lid. And in other people's videos, they said the same thing. If you put this one next to this one, it's going to look like the same shade. If you put this one next to that one, it's going to look like the same shade. And it's disappointing because when you look at them, this does look different than that. This one does look different from that. But on the lid, on my lid, they looked exactly the same. This one shows up brighter than it looks in the pan. And it doesn't really look that shimmery, but this is a bold shade. It surprised me the first time I used it. And even though this is like, this don't belong here, this adds a lot to this palette. It just works. Excuse me, Natasha just has a way. It just works. Because people thought, oh, you got this, whatever color. It works. It works perfect with this palette. So, y'all, that is it. Those are all 26 palettes that we used in April. And I'm still stuck with that one comment. Face flawless. And so I am hoping that you all are here, and when this live converts to a video, hopefully the live chat will actually show up. And I do feel, I don't want to say sad, but I feel annoyed. I feel annoyed at YouTube if it is something that they're doing that the comments are not showing up, because I love chatting with y'all, and y'all know that. And we do have some really good conversations. Oh, what I was going to say earlier, I'm surprised I remembered again, was the troll play stuff. I realized, because I was going through the troll play pictures when I did the martini look, and a couple other looks for the Creative Art with Heart collab. And when I look back over those pictures, I'm looking at it like, I did that? And I really be looking at it like, I did that look? And even some of the pictures from the program, the one in particular where they used gold flakes and I didn't have it, and so I put like decorative stuff here. And the other side had red up here, and it was just like shaded over. And that look was really nice. And I'm looking at that like I did that. So it's like I do stuff, but then I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? But when I see it, I'm like, wow, I did that look. And so it's kind of weird. Like there's a disassociation somewhere when I look at the pictures. I'm like, oh, and maybe because I do looks like maybe like every other day or every day, at least 4 days out of the week I do looks, and so maybe I just do too much to really be like, well, I remember when. Because what stands out to me is the Grinch look, because that was just like way different, and the reactions that I got when I got to the family dinner. But other stuff doesn't really stick with me. Also the Mario palette stuck with me because that was my first time playing with shading, and to take that luxury palette and do that. Like some of y'all were like, I wouldn't have thought that was Mario's palette, and I so that sticks out for me. But like some of the other stuff, I'm just like, oh, I did that look, and I do like them, but I just don't be like I don't remember. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe I had a migraine that day. I mean, I don't know, and it's so it felt weird. 'Cause I'm like, I know I did it, and when I look at it, it's like, oh, I did it. But when I think back, I'm like, I did that. Yeah, I did. It's in my gallery. So that's just kind of weird. And I'm just like, oh, yeah. So that is it, y'all, for this video. I think I'm gonna maybe do troll play twice a month. And I'll space them out. So we have one going up this Friday, and then 2 Fridays from now. What'll be three? I'll upload the other one is already scheduled because I don't just want to keep doing just troll play because some people just don't want to see it, which is fine. And I was doing those for a specific purpose. I was doing those in preparation for the event, and now that the event is over, I feel like okay, I can slow down on that. Even, but I still do want to do it because I want to stay. I want my skills to stay fresh, and I want them to continue improving and evolving. And the only way that's going to happen is if I keep doing them. You know what I mean? And so, I do want to do that, but I also want to make sure I'm rotating through my collection. One of the feelings that I had was, as much as I am enjoying Mayron's water activated paints because I finally got the hang of them, y'all. I am loving it. But there's still something about like when I did the shading look with eyeshadows because you can just do face. I don't want to say face paint, but you can do a graphic look with eyeshadow. It doesn't have to be water activated paint. And so I kind of was like, did I really need to get all them water paints? And I did because I don't have any colors that's that bold and also that's going to really stay that vibrant. Because even eyeshadow, it might last, 10 hours and then it might start to fade or whatever. And then there's something with just actually painting the face with, and some of them do look like regular paintbrushes, like little craft brushes. And it's just something about it that's very rewarding and just seeing, what I can do. And so, but I do have other ideas for other types of looks to do. Some will be based on some of the assignments from class. And so, we're going to have some high fashion looks, editorial looks, glam looks, bridal looks, natural looks, um, and stuff like that. And so I'm really excited. And I don't know how many times a month we'll do those. Maybe one of those a month. And then maybe the second one will be a troll play. So that way I'm just keeping it fresh for, when I get more clients that want something other than, oh, just do a natural look. And I'm like, okay. And I'm sorry, I'm like boring. You know what I mean? And I'm also excited for future events as well. So that video, as I said, it'll air tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll hear all about the event and hear about my back pain and but yo, it was just so good though. It was really good. But so I'm gonna go, y'all, and I thank y'all for being here. On behalf of whatever's happening, I do apologize if I am missing comments because none has popped up since Face Flawless, and so I do kind of feel like I didn't get to talk to my peoples. I feel like I'm just talking at you versus talking to you. You know what I mean? Because we do usually dialogue. I'm reading your comments and responding to them, where this time I'm not able to because it's not showing me any new ones. So we're gonna go, and I don't know yet what we're doing for Thursday's live stream, but when I figure it out, I will schedule it, and that way it'll pop up somewhere in your notifications if you have those turned on. Um, yeah, and so that's going to be it. And so thank you for being here with me to go over the 26 palettes we used in April. Up to the last day of April, we used every palette in my stash, and I feel really good about that. And I'm kind of wondering, like, is that sustainable? Like to use everything within 3 months? If we pair it, absolutely. Um, but that's not my first thought. Excuse me for smacking. My first thought isn't what can I pair with this. I just pick up a palette and figure something out. So we will see how I do with that, but I do want to make sure I am using everything on a regular basis. And even if it's every 3 months, that is a regular basis. And it's not me not using it because it's just, because I have like 60, 70 palettes. But so that'll be it. I don't know what to say as far as the comments, but for those of you who do circle back and leave a comment after it converts to a video, I do appreciate that. And so I do thank you for that because that does help the algorithm as well. And whoever else watches the replay, they'll see your comments there. And also the live chat ones um, if they click over to see those. But so we're going to go and I feel kind of sad that I didn't get the chit chat with y'all. I'm just like, what is happening to YouTube? But we know it does that. At least it didn't kick me off like it did before. And I still see numbers. And so I know y'all are still here because that one day was just crazy. But we're going to go. Thank you. Video tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live stream Thursday. I don't know what we're going to do. I'll talk to Janessa because we did chat about our Pride collab, but we didn't like set anything in stone yet. And so we'll see what's like how we're going to do that because that live stream was a lot of fun. But so we're going to go. I know I keep saying that. As always, self acceptance, self love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the hearts and everything else. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe and also consider joining the membership. You will see me soon. Thanks. Bye.